What's up, YouTube family? Gerald Greenlee here with Clean & Green Lawn Service in beautiful South Georgia. Friday morning, 6:30, sitting at the college, still a little bit dark out. Light enough to trim though. Like I said in the last video, assuming I put it out, we come out here yesterday and we cut all of this. We cut everything around the outside the parking lot. So we cut for like 2 hours. So that's 4 hours of mowing. So I probably got an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours of mowing left. The way grass is growing now, about probably an hour of string trimming, 40 minutes of edging, 30 minutes of blowing off. So whatever that comes out to be, should be out here in less than 5 hours or less, I would think. So in fact, I would say it's let's see, it's 6:32. So I'm gonna get the trimmer filled up, get to work, see how it goes. My goal would be to get out of here by, let's see, 11 o'clock. I mean 11:30. So we'll see how it goes. All right, YouTube posse. What I tell y'all, my goal was gonna be to get done at 11:30, right? It's 5 hours. So I can't show y'all what time it is yet, because I noticed a little, when I was blowing off, I noticed a little place out here I hadn't trimmed. That I need to go take care of. Anyway, they sprayed the grass here yesterday. The guy that comes twice a year and puts chemicals on it. So hopefully some of that weed stuff that's, I don't know what you call it, man, it's hard to cut. You run over it twice and sometimes it won't cut. But anyway, I'm gonna go right here. I used to spray around this thing every once in a while. Hadn't done it in a long time. They spray some stuff here too, but there's one lone pole out here and that ain't been trimmed around. Apparently hadn't been trimmed around the last couple of times by looking at it. I don't think to come over here because I used to spray it. So anyway, I'm gonna knock that down real quick. Now I'll show you what time it is. All right, so here we go. 10:39. So 50 minutes early over my goal. That would have put us at 9 hours, right? 4 yesterday, 5 today. Yeah. So I did this thing in 8 hours and 10 minutes. That's a record. You could probably get it down to 8 hours. I probably could do it in 8 hours the way it sits right now. But I did very little double cutting today. When the summer gets here and it thickens up and bahia takes off, you won't be able to do it like that. So, but that is the fastest. That's the fastest it's ever been. I think one time we might have did it with 2 of us in like 4 hours and 15 minutes. I think me and Z-Man did that. But again, it's in the off season like this. Grass really hadn't started. Well, the grass would be growing here. The problem is we've had no rain. We got like 1 inch, I think, last week or earlier this week. No, Monday. Yeah. And I mean, it really helped out a lot, but it is just so dry. So the temperature is getting right, but it's just so dry. So, man, JT almost messed me up. See, these are some of the things that you deal with, you know, in the learning curve. So, and I know I told him this, but again, you know, I've given him a lot of information. You know, I basically went to most of the yards with him the first time and then turned him loose. So But this is one where you could really mess up. I went to put gas in my backpack blower and I said, man, so we have a 4-gallon can, a 5-gallon can that I mix 4 gallons at a time in, and then I fill up a little 1 gallon just to fill up the trimmers and stuff. And I was filling up the backpack blower because I usually fill them up out of the big can. And I said, man, that gas that looks like regular gas. And so I called him, and he said, yeah, I just fill up the big jug and then I mix it a gallon at a time. Okay. Now here's the problem. 2 problems really. One is I got mix wrote all over that 5-gallon can. M-I-X, M-I-X. So that everybody knows it's mixed. The second problem is, you know, even though none of the guys are working with us now, me and all the other guys know that when you put, you know, we don't have no gas on the all of our gas is marked. So, and they gonna, any of those guys, if they see a 4-gallon can with 4-gallon can with gas in it and it says mix on it, they're gonna pour it in the machines and just run. I just happen to look at it, you know, because I do look at it when I pour it. And now this ain't a, you know, this is not a knock on him. He's learning, but that is one of, you know, sometimes there's just things you have to make. You gotta make sure that you know, dot the I's and cross the T's, because that's like I think I paid $700 or $800 for that backpack blower, and if I'd have put that gas in it and run it for 35 minutes out there, it probably would have locked it up. I mean, that's $750, $800 mistake, you know. So, you know, those are the kind of things. So I'm gonna go back over all that with him Monday and just make sure, you know, we're on the same page, because, you know, I told him to put non-ethanol in it, and see, you know, I don't even know that that's non-ethanol. And so anyway, there's just some little detailed things like that you know, we need to make sure, you know, that we're on the same page with. Again, it's, you know, it's not the end of the world. And I thank the Lord that I do kind of keep an eye on that stuff, just because you know, I'm just worried, because even me, I could forget to put oil in it. You know, you feel it. So what I normally do is I pour the oil in the can and then I put the gas in it. That way I don't run the risk of forgetting. So, and he might have thought, you know, Z-Man or somebody being with him, they might have run one of the mowers out one day. You know, if we run a mower out, I'll put a little bit of that mixed gas in it just to get it back on the trailer. And so maybe he's seen them pouring that in one of the mowers, and he thought, well, I ain't supposed to mix that. You know, I mean, there's just a lot of variables. So anyway, I'm gonna run by my daughter's house and see if they cut their grass. It's the grandson's birthday party tomorrow, and I need to come over here and see if I can get some straw down. I don't know how much I'm gonna get done, but I don't want to be up there trying to put straw down and the grass ain't cut. So maybe they've cut it. If they have, I'll just go into the house and get rid of all this stuff and bring some straw back over here. So anyway, we're gonna see. All right, it's been about 2.5 hours since I checked in with y'all, and come over here and cleaned up some at my daughter's. Gotta put some straw down now. All right, there we go. Left that pile for my son-in-law. Anyway, got some straw down. Got a little bit around back too, but I ain't going all around there. I can tell you, man, trimmed up that palm out there. Lift that pile for him too. Get there. Oh man, about 8 hours is just all I can do. I don't know, man, I done got tired. I think I mentioned in my last video I just ain't got my energy back. So I started at 6:30 and it's 2:30. So I finished the college, I cut this yard, edged, weeded everything up front, and it hadn't been edged in a while, so you can see the edge down through there now. See if I can pull out here. I'm gonna let y'all see it. But I just done had enough, man. In fact, I got in the truck. I got in the truck and run the AC and sat down for about 10 minutes before I even finished putting my tools up. Just, and I've been drinking water, and it's really not even that hot. It's like 86 degrees. Anyway, here's the lawn, man. It only goes over to them trees right there. Not the big one, them little ones. So, almost to that mailbox. So anyway, I'm about to head back to the shop. Waiting on this car. Let me go back by the shop, run by the house, get me another cold glass of water and pick my little dog up, or may just hang out with him, I don't know. I may come back over here this afternoon and help them. They got to put a bounce house up. My daughter bought some kind of water slide, one of them kind you blow up. I mean, it ain't like the industrial ones like what you rent, but it's fine for a 2-year-old, and it costs half what a rental would cost. So that, and she bought a tent to put up outside. I'm guessing it's one of them with the metal poles and all. I hadn't really looked at it, but I might go over here. I got to go look at another property too. I set me up a website because I was going to add a bunch of properties back. So I said, well, let me do a website and people can get on there and request a quote, put their information in and all that. I've gotten a couple, but I really ain't looking for no more work now, but I'm gonna go look at this one. He wanted a spring cleanup and regular lawn service, so I could handle a couple of more. I just don't want to get too much. Not having that extra help now available. Now the good news is I got a couple of guys, if I get in a bind and something would have happened to JT and he can't do it, and you know, he ain't gonna work no more or something, I got a couple of guys that'd be willing to take the properties. So I'm not too worried about that. And I'd probably, if that happened, I'll probably keep the college and, you know, 2 or 3 more, like I was going to do to begin with. And I can find me a high school guy and train him, you know, for the summer, because they'll be out of school in a few weeks. I mean, if that were to happen, I could figure out how to work it out. Basically keep what we could do in one day. And, you know, I could take a guy with me and go out and do, you know, well, doing $1,000 would be easy. If I got a guy trained and he weren't like these other guys I had, I mean, we could go out and do probably $1,200, $1,400 one day a week, and that'd just be it. So anyway, let me get to the house. All right, so this is the property. Very simple property. Needs the edge recovered all the way around, because this thing has curb all the way around the street. He wants everything in those beds cut down to the ground. He said they'll come back, don't worry about them. And you know, of course, got a pine tree here with some pine cones. I would probably, you know, coming to do a cleanup, I'm gonna clean all that up. Normally, if there's just a few, we close the chute blocker and chop them up, but you can see the grass is all over this curve out here. So It shows online. I don't know if y'all do this. So if you're in the lawn care business, the very first thing I do when I get a new customer inquiry is I go and I type the address in on Google. And usually Zillow is the first one to pull up. Doesn't matter if it's Zillow or some of the other ones. And when you click on those, the reason I do that is for two reasons. One is I get these scammers that send me a message and it's a property for sale, and somehow they're just trying to scam me on doing it. And so those are red flags for me. So now I will reach out to the people and say, you know, what's the deal with the house? And so if they say, well, we got it under contract, or, all right, let me answer this call. All right, that's one of my pastor friends calling. So back to where I think I was talking. Check Zillow, two reasons. One is make sure I'm not getting scammed. Two is, you know, it'll show me the exact size of the property. I don't know what in the world that is. It'll show me the exact size of the property, and that one came out to 1.01 acres. And then, of course, when I go there, I'll still measure it out on Google Maps, because sometimes, you know, some of that area will be wooded or whatever. So, I don't know if any of y'all do lawn care, just a little tip there. You may already know it. You probably got something better than that already. But that's just kind of what I do. So, anyway, I am headed to the house now, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video. Hope y'all enjoy it. My prayer for you is always the same, that the Lord might richly bless you and that you might see all of your blessings as from Him.